The MCE Insurance British Superbike Championship has become even more competitive thanks to new rules. We've got exclusive access behind the scenes. Well, welcome to Alton Park and welcome to a typical round of a British superbike race. But this is a tale of two very different bike teams. We're up close and personal with Swan Yamaha, British champions in 2011. That's thanks to their superstar rider Tommy Hill. We're also in the garage with Chris Walker, also known as the Stalker, a good mate of mine. Chris is a privateer, riding with Primo Bournemouth Kawasaki, a team run by a local motorbike dealership. Put politely, Stalker is a veteran. He first rode in British superbikes back in 1996, but he hasn't won a BSB race for 12 years. What keeps you and your passion going for this game?
I've never thought about stopping. It's not really been on my radar to think, right, this is my last year. What's made it harder over the years is, as ultimately I'm not a championship contender anymore, obviously the rides, you don't get off of the rides like you did back in the day.
Although Chris and Tommy ride bikes with a similar spec, that's where the similarity between the teams ends. Okay, so look, Swan Yamaha is pit garage number 1 and Chris is down here. They are in the same postcode and they're also in the same race, but they are poles apart. But as the garage numbers go up, their budgets go down. And Chris is in here. It's not just the garages that are different. Here's the Swan Yamaha engineering truck. Sean, this is the truck.
Yeah,
So what happens down here?
This is the race transporter. We have one for hospitality, and this is the race truck that we transport all the bikes, the equipment, and everything that forms the garage.
So what's in the pit garage comes out of here,
Correct, yeah.
And the coffee that is in the hospitality area, obviously that truck turns into the hospitality area.
Correct, yeah. And that side of it has 2 articulated trucks and a refrigerated van and sort of like 12 staff to build all of that and run it for the course of the weekend.
Back at the other end of the paddock, Stalker's garage has a slightly more basic catering operation. The sandwiches are made by the team owner's wife. And where Yamaha has 3 articulated trucks, these guys have 1. Well, there's a nice door there, thank you very much.
This is an Arctic trailer that's been split 3 ways. Arguably it's not as flash as some of the other trucks in the paddock, but we had to buy this with our own hard-earned funds, and we have to make do.
What's through here then? Shall I knock then?
Yeah, you ought to. There might be a few mechanics still loitering in here.
Oh, hang on. Oh, right, okay. So what, bunk beds everywhere?
Yeah, 4 guys in here permanently. Some of the guys are paid mechanics, some of them are pure enthusiasts.
But even doing this on the cheap, racing superbikes can really hurt your wallet.
Our budget is probably a tenth of the Swan budget. We're probably running on around about £150,000. We're talking a £50,000 tyre bill straight away, and that's without looking at any engines or rebuilds.
This year, there are new rules intended to level things out. All the bikes use the same electronics and the same tyres. So what difference does the money make?
I guess the principles are the same, but unfortunately money determines whether you can implement those principles. When you've got a privateer doing everything himself, to think about all the different aspects that are required, it's virtually impossible,
And how does garage number 1 look when you're down at 23?
It's always difficult when you start to look up there. We have an issue this weekend. We got 4 rear wheels because we damaged one, and we weren't able to get another rear wheel in. And I look up there and they've got racks of wheels and 10 technicians. But we're not going to be content with sat back down here in lowly garage 23 and 24. We want to be heading up to the single digits, and it may be a few years, but we'll certainly get there.
The teams have been qualifying for tomorrow's race.
135.993 for Tommy Hill.
And it's no surprise that Tommy Hill and teammate Noriyuki Haga are on pole and second.
There you go, flat 36, he's gone pole.
Fantastic. But despite all the money and facilities, the new rules mean that the BSB champ feels pressure from down the pit lane.
So there could be a situation where Stalks actually could give you a run for your money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no reason why not. I mean, we're all on the same tyres.
Just going to have to really turn it on now.
That's it. More down to the rider.
And in the first race of the afternoon, Tommy did what he often does and finished first, closely followed by teammate Noriyuki Haga. The Stalker finished a very respectable 7th, but above Alton Park there are signs of rain, and that could change everything. We're back at Alton Park for the British Superbikes. I've been behind the scenes with two very different teams, Swan Yamaha and their champion rider Tommy Hill, and the legendary Chris Walker, with primo Bournemouth Kawasaki, who's way down the pit lane after his last win some 12 years ago. Nowadays, racing comes at a price.
Financially it's not as easy because I tend now to have to put a bit into the team, whereas the other end of the pit lane, them guys are getting a wage out of it.
So far, it's gone according to the script. Tommy's won a race and is on pole for the next one. Chris finished 7th and qualified 12th. To break through to the top positions, Chris needs a bit of luck. And I may have spotted something.
Well, it's raining, mate, a bit. Does that change anything?
Everything.
Does it change everything?
Yeah.
See, for me, I would think that you'd be praying for rain.
Maybe back in the day you would, but nowadays I think at the end of we are a small team and we haven't got 7 sets of wheels.
Chris has only one set of full wet tyres, and although tyre supply isn't a problem for the Yamaha boys, they know that rain often brings out the best in the Stalker.
He enjoys the wet, and when things go their way and the circumstances play in their favour, they can regularly deliver results.
I mean, you're legendary in the wet. Do you like wet conditions?
No, not really. I never have, to be honest. I've gone well over the years in the wet, but it was, as you said earlier, there's certain times where you're on a lesser machine and the wet is a great leveller.
Yeah, you can plan for everything, can't you, really? But people upstairs have different ideas.
They don't know which tyres to run, but the rest of the race routine stays pretty constant. Always part of Chris' team is his wife Rachel. I caught up with her before the race, ready with some incisive questions.
Would you have married him, do you think, if he was an estate agent, if you see what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you would have done.
It's really weird, actually, because we met, I was working for Kawasaki as a promotional model at the bike show, but I actually never really watched the racing. I didn't actually know who he was, and then got to know him more, and it wasn't until, we actually started seeing each other the following year, I ended up going racing and thought, wow, this is amazing.
When the race is going on and you're looking at the times, how do you feel deep down?
My feelings deep down is I want him to win.
Do you worry about safety and all that kind of stuff and family?
It's always in the back of your mind. You can't not get worried. And that's why I always pat the bike and always give him a kiss on the grid and, there's nothing more you can do, is there?
As they line up on the grid, Tommy has pole and Chris is back at number 12. The track's wet, but it's stopped raining. Chris has gambled and is on his only set of full wet tyres.
Let battle commence.
Chris may have got it right. He's quickly into 4th. Tommy isn't responding well to the wet, and Chris passes the champion to take 3rd. Then 2nd. For a man who says he doesn't enjoy the wet, this is an incredible performance. The only man in front is Shaky Byrne on his Kawasaki, almost losing it as he feels the Stalker breathing down his neck. And then Chris Walker takes the flag for primo Bournemouth Kawasaki. What a brilliant performance, Stalker's first BSB win in 12 years. And the first to congratulate him is a man 13 years his junior, Swan Yamaha's Tommy Hill.
Really good.
But you can chill out now.
I finally caught up with Chris in the car park.
Mate,
Thank you.
I can't believe you did it.
Hey,
What
me
was
neither.
it like winning?
It was extra special. It was special passing Tommy Hill, that is for sure. It was a great race. We had the right tyres on, the right combination. The boys sent me out with a real soft map in. Fortunately got a good start, kept out of trouble, and that was it really. I kind of started to believe it was going to happen with about 10 laps to go, and it did happen, so no, phenomenal.